in every way.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM, hits 103.9 FM in Accra, and Love 99.5 in Kumasi, and streaming worldwide at myjoyonline.com, X Spaces and YouTube. Also live in all 16 regions of Ghana via partner stations, including Radio Justice Tamale, Lolonyo FM Hawaii, Inkligi FM Boli, Castle FM Cape Coast, Oil City Radio Takrady, Ganga FM Jirapan, Radio Freed in Nandum. This afternoon, 3 people confirmed dead and several others injured after mining explosives detonated at Aboso in the western region.
So we had one reported case, that's the driver, who is no more with us. And we also had the mate who had severe burns on the body.
We're live there for the very latest. Also this afternoon, Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Thompson, Asiedu Nketiah, describes the Supreme Court directive to allow all party members to vote in internal elections as an expensive adventure.
Pay all the cost of the materials, everything. So Electoral Commission didn't contribute to 1 cedi. And so in the end, in those days, we spent close to 14 million.
In 2014?
2014.
Well, we have details as he beats a U-turn on controversial call for resignation of EC Chair Jane Mensah.
This commission is not fit for purpose. And if any serious country will want to maintain this type of electoral commission.
So you're okay working with her as a political party?
We don't have an option.
Also, this afternoon, Muslim communities joined forces with Christian leaders to confront the rising wave of student indiscipline in schools across the country in a move aimed at safeguarding the future of Ghana's education system. We have details, and we are live at the 4th Ghana Muslim Leaders and Catholic Bishops Dialogue, currently underway at the National Mosque in Accra. And more than 400 years after enslaved Africans were taken across the Atlantic Ocean, Ghana and Jamaica continue to share cultural traditions that have stood the test of time. Details as President Mahame's state visit is bringing those connections into sharper focus.
If you look on the menu card, the first item is okra soup and fufu. I'm yearning to get started. Let the okra soup and fufu flow.
We'll tell you how African culinary traditions, including fufu and okra soup, found their way onto Jamaican menus. And in our light story today, we'll tell you about how President Mahama joined members of the Rastafarian community in a spirited traditional drumming session. These and more with me, Maame, Nyamekye, Thompson. This is Joy News, independent, fearless and credible Tuesday. Let's get into the details now. 3 people have been killed and several others injured after mining explosives detonated at a tailing site in Aboso near Takwa. Police suspect the explosives were illegally stored. Investigators say the blast was triggered after a gunshot fired at a python is believed to have struck the explosives. Here's the Public Relations Officer for the Western Central Police Command, ASP Beatrice Texan.
At 2 p.m. on the 4th of August 2026, the Western Central Regional Police Command responded to an explosion at a tailings site in Aboso near Takwa. The explosion resulted to 3 deaths, 3 injuries. The explosion also caused an extensive damage to properties. Several houses within the community had their window panes shattered, while 6 vehicles parked at a nearby washing bay also had 8 windscreens and window glasses damaged. I wish to make a categorical statement in my capacity as the Western Central Regional Police PRO that only 3 individuals have been confirmed dead, 3 others stable and responding to treatment. The regional command also expresses its deepest condolences to the bereaved families and wishes the injured persons a speedy recovery. Again, the unlawful possession and storage of explosives constitutes serious offenses and poses risk to public safety. Members of the public are urged to report any suspected illegal storage of explosives to the nearest police station.
Well, let's go to the Western region now. Speak to our correspondent, Natalia Nketiah here. Ina, you have been in the community. Can you tell us what the situation is or what you've been learning about this incident?
Thank you, Maame. So, just like the PRO has said, I mean, in the community, these are the same thing that people around are saying. And then there is this worry from some section of the community that, I mean, there is during the night and then at the blind side of police and others. So they want more enforcement. They wish governments can send in more people, I mean, military and police security service, now that there is such an incident has occurred.
So, Ina, we know that there's a huge explosion that has killed at least 3 people. How are the community people responding to this? How is the town looking like today?
See, anyone who knows Aboso knows that it's a vibrant community, but today it looks more like a mournful community. When you pass through the community, you see people gathered discussing the issues. This has brought a lot of shock to them because this is...
We seem to have lost Natalia Nketiah there. Well, moving on, Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Asiedu Nketiah, has described the Supreme Court's directive to an expensive adventure. The decision contained in the Professor Frimpong Boateng, Dr. Nyao Tamaklo and Dr. Christine Amwako-Nyama case compels the parties to expand the Electoral College from the usual delegate system to the presidential and constituency primaries. Reacting to the ruling on PM Express last night, Asiedu Nketiah says the party accepts the court's decision but says it will be an expensive activity.
You spend more on printing of ballot papers, because the delegate system, you would be printing about less than 400,000. But with this 1 man, 1 vote, we are in excess of 1 million to 2 million ballot papers. The Electoral Commission took the view that this was a private election whose costs must be borne exclusively by the party. So every polling station, the Electoral Commission recruited about 4 polling officials. And we had to pay them and pay all the cost of the materials, everything. So the Electoral Commission didn't contribute 1 cedi. And so in the end, in those days, we spent close to 14 million.
In 2014?
2014.
Well, he says government must consider the NDC's proposal for the regulation and funding of political parties.
Since we are being compelled to help citizens exercise their civic and democratic rights, it sit very well if you ask the state to budget for this exercise so that Electoral Commission can conduct it free of charge. If that can be done, the Electoral Commission can conduct it.
Because that will be your biggest cost line, the EC.
Yes. If they can conduct it free of charge, then it will help every political party. But again, I've heard people saying that to demand that Electoral Commission should conduct it free of charge will mean that everybody will get up and form a political party and call on the Electoral Commission to go and spend money. And that is why in NDC we have proposed the setting up of an office for the regulation of political parties.
Johnson Asiedu Nketiah. That we'll be hearing more from him shortly. But first, let's speak to NPP's Director of Elections, Evans Nimako. Grateful for your time on our Midday News. Well, you heard there Mr. Asiedu Nketiah indicating that at least they spent 40 million cedis in 2014 for internal elections, and is proposing that the state funds internal elections of political parties. Where do you stand on this?
Thank you very much for having me. I think that the issue of state funding. Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Evans Nimako, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you once again for having me. And I think that the issue of state funding of political parties has been on the burner for a very long time. If you quite remember, the political parties with representation in parliament have for a long time had a platform with the Institute of Economic Affairs, and there has been a proposal that the state must fund political parties. The other twist is that if you do not have the right legal framework, you are likely to open the floodgates and allow the creation and formation of political parties. So that is one bit of it. This issue of the judgment by the Supreme Court it is something that the New Patriotic Party did not really support it, because we knew that if you want to ensure the growth of democracy, you need to have viable political parties. And issue of delegation is part of democracy. The question that we need to ask is, what does the judgment seek to cure? And it is important for us to assess the judgment and follow the reason of the Supreme Court. But in the face of it, this is going to be a huge burden on political parties. I'm happy you spoke with Honorable Asiedu Nketiah. The NDC in 2014-2015 implemented the one-man, one vote. They were in government. They had resources. Today, the one or the other supported the petition at the Supreme Court. And this is where we are. So lovers of democracy must look at the reasoning behind it and find out what the judgment seeks to cure. Whether the existing legal infrastructure or legal framework is unable to do that. My sister, if you look at the representation of the people's law at 284, it talks about offenses in the conduct of elections, as in treating bribery and all that. And so, if you want to cure issue of monocracy, why aren't we able to enforce these laws?
All right. And that's Evans Mensah with the NPP. Let's speak to Paul Mensah Brampa, is Programs Manager for CDD. We're grateful for your time on the Midday News, but from the conversation, will state funding of internal elections cure monocracy or vote buying, as others are assuming? Hello, Mr. Brampa? Unmute and speak to us. Unmute and speak to us. Unfortunately, we're unable to get Mr. Paul Brampa on the lines with us, but we spoke earlier to Mr. Evans Nimako with the NPP. He's Director of Elections. Well, moving on, let's hear from Mr. Asiedu Nketiah from the PM Express exclusive, because he has beat a U-turn on his pursuit for the removal of EC Chairperson Jane Mensah. First, listen to him in June 2025 declaring the entire EC leadership not fit for purpose over the SAL saga and delayed compilation of some constituency results after the 2024 general election.
Never done an election that is satisfactory. These two major elections, the first one constituency went unrepresented for 4 years, and then their second election is this one. And then with the by-elections, Ayawa, so West, Wogon, everything has been about. So there is overwhelming evidence that this commission is not fit for purpose. And if any serious country will want to maintain this type of electoral commission, then I don't know what the country is about.
So there will be a change of the EC leadership?
There has to be a change.
Mensah must go?
Yes, I think the three top leadership must all go.
So that would be the chairperson herself and her two deputies.
Yeah.
Mensah, then Boxman Asari, and I believe you've been working, he's not always in the news.
Tete. They must all go. They have mismanaged the commission so badly.
As Johnson Asiedu Nketiah, chairman of the NDC. Now, growing indiscipline in senior high schools is raising alarm among Ghana's Muslim and Christian leaders who are demanding urgent action to restore discipline and moral values in schools. Meeting in Accra, the 4th Ghana Muslim Leaders and Catholic Bishops Dialogue, the religious leaders described the situation as a national concern, requiring a coordinated response from key stakeholders, including the Ghana Education Service. We hear from the National Chief Imam, Sheikh Osman Nuhu, shared between a speech read on his behalf by spokesperson Sheikh Arimyao Shaibu.
Through dialogue, we achieve the openness of the mind and the closeness of the heart. My dear brothers and sisters, the theme for this year, dialogue, could not have been chosen at a better time. There is growing concern about the spate of indiscipline plaguing us all in all facets of our national life. Of even greater concern and worry to the government, the society, and stakeholders in education is the specter of gross indiscipline and hooliganism in our educational space. Currently, there is a raging public debate about how to curb the menace. The choice of the theme, therefore, is a demonstration of our shared concern and commitment to explore every available means to cure the malady, both in the medium and the long terms. To that effect, a joint working committee would be set up to see to the implementation of the recommendations of this meeting.
Let's speak to our colleague Fatah Bayaga, who is currently monitoring the dialogue and joins me on Zoom. Fatah, the president of the Catholic Bishops' Conference, Most Reverend Matthew Kwesi Gyamfi, has also been expressing concern about the situation. What did he say?
So he described this as one of Ghana's pressing challenges, and there's the need for urgent intervention. He took time to recount some of the few cases that have happened in recent times, and he said that that's the reason why the Catholic Bishops' Conference have decided to join the Muslim community in fighting this particular issue. We can take a listen.
Invite all of us to reflect together on one of the most pressing challenges facing Ghana today. Indiscipline of students is not merely a question of bad behavior or broken rules. It points to a deeper issue, the kind of human person we wish to form. A nation is not built by skilled professionals alone, but by women and men of integrity.
Well, let's go to Boase now. We are hearing that a headmaster of Boase Senior High Technical School is currently hospitalized after allegedly being attacked by students. Nana Boache Yadom joins us on the phone lines. Nana, what are you learning?
Well, Maame, at the moment, we can confirm that school activities or academic activities at Boase Tech has come to a standstill. Heavy security presence in there. Following yesterday's mob attack on their headmaster, Abdullah Zakaria, who was allegedly seen by students burying a fetus from what they suspect to be an abortion that he had with one of the students on campus. At the moment, he is receiving treatment at the Confanochi Teaching Hospital with heavy security presence as well, as police confirm that they are going to commence with investigations immediately.
Nana, thank you for that update. You're still listening to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. We'll take a break when we return. More than 400 years after enslaved Africans were taken across the Atlantic Ocean, Ghana and Jamaica continue to share cultural traditions that have stood the test of time. Details as President Mahame's visit is bringing those connections into sharper focus.
If you look on the menu card, the first item is okra soup and fufu. I'm yearning to get started. Let the okra soup and fufu flow.
And in our live story, we'll also tell you about how President Mahama joined members of the Rastafarian community in a spirited traditional drumming session.
Something exciting is stirring at the Joy News Habitat Fair.
When I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth with Kale Charcoal toothpaste. This gives me confidence all day.
Anytime you meet Amma, don't be surprised I smile showing my beautiful white teeth because I don't have cavity thanks to Kale Charcoal toothpaste for its natural charcoal properties. In fact, we are like twins. I can't go without my Kale Charcoal toothpaste.
That be why I dey use Kale Charcoal toothpaste morning and night when I dey go bed safe. It dey make my teeth white where it dey comot every scent from my mouth inside. My confidence level they go up, so I dey show my 32 teeth all.
Introducing the Kale Charcoal toothpaste, formulated with activated bamboo charcoal powder, ensures whiter teeth and removes bad breath. The strong natural property of the activated bamboo charcoal removes bacteria, absorbs surface stains on our teeth caused by coffee, wines, and tobacco. Welcome, Kale Charcoal toothpaste. Kale Charcoal toothpaste, Sankofa Yenchi.
Kale, happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
Upgrade your print game with Konica Minolta, proudly powered by SkySat Technologies. From all-in-one machines that print, scan, and copy to professional systems and heavy-duty production machines, we deliver unmatched performance. Right now, SkySat has an unbeatable offer. 1 entire year of free servicing on all Konica Minolta machines. That's 12 months of expert maintenance for new and existing customers. Visit our new VIP print center at Pegasus Place, Airport Residential Area for a live demonstration. Call us on 050-164-5180 or 0302-798-829. Again, it's 050-164-5180 or 0302-798-829. SkySat Technologies, performance that delivers every time.
Thanks for staying with us. Now, the West African Examinations Council, WAEC, has caused schools and parents raising concerns over the 2026 BEC results to provide evidence to support their claims. The appeal follows allegations by the Ghana National Association of Private Schools that some candidates received grades for subjects they did not register for, while others obtained results that do not reflect their academic performance. Here's the association's Communications and Partnership Manager, Eridion Gian Joseph, speaking on the Super Morning Show.
We have certain minor cases that we think should not even be a case to come from WAEC. For instance, a student who registered for Chi sat for that paper only to be given 7 in that particular paper, but over that she did not register anywhere. She ended up giving 3 in it. She did not even sat for that paper. Aside that, there are clear instances of student results that we perceive to be collated wrongly or not collated based on their capability and what we know them to deliver on.
Well, the WAEC Head of Public Affairs, John Kapi, who acknowledged that the Council is not entirely infallible, however mentioned it was prepared to investigate any genuine concerns but could not act on unverified claims.
It's important for us to be able to ascertain that indeed whatever allegations we are making, and then use that as a basis to judge the credibility of an institution like WAEC, I think I beg to differ. And so if for some reason there's a school or there are schools that think that their candidates deserve better, we always have a policy of inviting or allowing people like that into our offices to demand or to request for remarking of their scripts. So all we can say is that if they have concerns, they should come to us, and we are ready to listen to them and to address those concerns.
Now, for many Ghanaians visiting Jamaica, some things feel surprisingly familiar. The food, the music, and the language. Even some of the names and traditions. These similarities are no coincidence. They're part of a shared history that dates back to the transatlantic slave trade, when thousands of Africans were taken from the West African coast to the Caribbean. During his state visit to Jamaica, President Mahama reflected on these connections, saying the bonds between the two countries remain visible centuries later. Presidential Affairs correspondent Maxwell Agbagba has more.
The Atlantic Ocean separates Ghana and Jamaica by thousands of kilometers, but history has kept the two nations closely connected. Centuries after the transatlantic slave trade, traces of Ghana's culture are still visible in Jamaica. In the food people eat, the words they speak, the music they make, and the traditions they continue to preserve. It was these connections that President John Mahama reflected on during his visit to the Seville Heritage Park in St. Anne, where he visited the preserved Ghanaian village.
It's not been all business. It's also immersing ourselves in our common culture. I said it since I came to Jamaica. Everywhere I see my relatives, my friends, my brothers, my sisters, my aunties, my uncles, everywhere in Jamaica I see them. And even just here, I saw one of the waiters who was serving, who looked so much like Victoria Hammond. I don't know if you noticed that. I'm sure she'll come passing and I'll point her out to you. It just shows our common culture. We were met on arrival by the cultural troupe and we're welcomed with the Abeng. There is no difference. The name is not different in.
Well, still on President Mahama, in our life story, has given a glimpse of his drumming skills during his official visit to Jamaica. In a video making the rounds on social media, the president is seen joining members of the Rastafarian community in a lively drumming session.
Give me one roll.
Who is asking?
Oh, it was just one of the passers, but okay, the person, one of them standing behind the drummers was saying,
"What is one roll?"
Maame, don't do this to me. But we all know what one roll is. So it's just basically saying, he was just saying they should reward the president with one roll, but that was just on the lighter side. No, he didn't take it. No, we didn't see him giving him any one roll.
Okay, but
yes, but he's been reacting to it. He said something about it.
Okay.
I also had the opportunity to perform with the Nyabingi band. Those of you who don't know, I was the bass drummer this morning, and I'm sure with social media I'll soon be trending. And it's already trending. Okay. I see what profession I'll pursue after I leave the presidency.
Interesting there.
Wow.
I'll go and listen to the president play the drums.
Exactly, but I mean the trends, the Aboso headmaster story is obviously on the item, with opinions divided over the students' reaction. While the majority of netizens strongly condemned the alleged actions of the headmaster, many also believe the students' decision to assault him was very uncalled for.
Very wrong there. Well, thank you very much, Adobe Asari, for the updates on the trends. And that's how we end the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. Next is Living Word with Pastor Mensah Otabil.
Charlie, dream I'm nice. I get some serious meeting. Allah, motion. But Charlie, no credit today. Oh, but you relax. Momo day.
Hey, what funny.
Yes, so I borrow small, sort myself out, I pay back. We move. Sport day. Charlie, you sure say you pay back? Yes, so that anytime somebody else they need them, Momo day. Be like I for can't borrow some. Hey, you this boy. Don't go there and disgrace yourself. Allah, motion.
Responsible borrowing be the real flexo for today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. Borrow, sort them, pay back. Momo Day.
The Accra Academy, the first second cycle institution established by Ghanaians, proudly celebrates 95 years of excellence. The board, management, and the Old Boys Association, powered by the Anniversary Planning Committee, invite all Blelbi to the Blelbi Float and Homecoming 2026. Date, Saturday, 15th August 2026. The float kicks off at 7 a.m.